Hello, Carew. It is the evening of April the 8th here in Carnarvon, and we have had a busy couple of days. Um, I honestly can't remember everything we did. Let me think back. So, I'm going to make a. This is about what we did on the 7th. I just watched your video and I showed it to Kayla. So the ball is in her court. Brighton's already in bed. Um, so yesterday, the 7th of April, got up in the morning, and Tom and Lynn had trouble sleeping, not surprisingly. Kayla was up early, which she has been every day, and I had told her that I would take her to do something um, if everyone else wasn't up. So she had mentioned wanting to see yew trees. So there's a church just down the road from here that I know that has yew trees that are between 2,000 and 3,000 years old, I think. And so I took her and Brighton down there, and I took some drone footage. I'm not sure I'm going to cut that in because it's late tonight and I want to go to bed. But maybe I'll use that in a future video. So we did that, and we're back here um, in time to pick up Tom and Lynn. And I'm trying to think about what we did. We went and did something in the morning. Oh, we drove to Penmine Mallard, parked the car, and hiked up to the Druid Circle. Um, and we had a great time. We saw lots of ponies, um, which you will have seen pictures of if you looked at our pictures. And hiked around and had a lovely morning doing that. Finished a little earlier than we expected. Sarah and I needed to be back here by around 1 o'clock. So we quickly stopped by Dol Badarn, where once again I actually flew the drone while they checked out the castle. And then we were back home before 1 o'clock, at which point Tom and Lynn and Brighton and Kayla went and did their own thing. Sarah actually had a pre-scheduled Zoom interview with S4C, which is the Welsh language television station here. And so they're preparing, supposedly, to do some kind of show about people overseas who are learning to speak Welsh. And they got her name from someone. And so she spent a little over an hour, between an hour and 20 minutes, talking with them and videoing an interview, which she was quite stressed about. Actually, it was kind of funny because we were getting ready and for the interview, and we'd gotten everything set up, and I just sat down to eat lunch finally. The doorbell rings, and it was Emmer dropping by to tell me that on Saturday he had been in Cardiff to see the Carnarvon rugby team play in the Welsh Cup final, which they won. So he showed me some pictures from that, which was pretty awesome. Anyway, then Sarah grabbed him and said, "I need some help here." So she had to fill out a release form or something with S4C, and she couldn't understand what one of the fields was. And so he helped out with that. And then he actually kind of gave her a nice warm-up where he asked her, what's one of the questions that they asked? And let her explain it. And then he was like, "Oh, that was really, really," in Welsh. She's like, "Oh, that was really, really, really good. That was a great answer. That's really, really, really good." And so got her excited about it. And so yeah, so she did that interview and finished that up, and she said this has been hanging over my head for a year. Literally, they contacted her about it in last spring, I think. Um, so after that, we went out for a little walk in the evening, and we were with Tom and Lynn and Brighton and Kayla, and we were all kind of going our own ways. So Tom and Lynn were doing something down over by the bridge, and Brighton and Kayla went to a park, and Sarah and I were walking back, and we ran into our friend Alan, who was sitting on the bench just in the sunshine on the wall there, and he stopped us, and we sat down and started chatting with him, and Tom and Lynn walked by, and so they sat down and chatted, and then Alan chatted with them, and then while we were talking, we told Alan that there's a restaurant over here, a new restaurant in town that's owned by locals, and he'd recommended it to us, and so we'd gone to it, and it was really good, and we told him this, and literally 3 minutes later, the woman who served us at the restaurant was walking by, and she sees Alan and walks over and starts chatting with him. Turns out she's friends with him, and then she recognizes us from the restaurant, and we told her he recommended it, and she's like, "Oh," and he was like, "Yeah, get a little extra money for me," and it was a really fun interaction. Like 50% of it was in Welsh, but they were switching to English because Tom and Lynn and I were there, and it was just really nice to do that and have that little interaction. And since then, I think Tom and Lynn have run into Alan twice and chatted with him. So, yeah, it's a small community. Anyway, that's just a little update on what's going on here. No dance, no nonverbal signals, just this. I'm going to copy this file off the computer. I'm tired. Off the camera onto the computer and upload it now. There'll be more in the future. That is my story. I'm sticking to it.